Hi everyone, last week I did the series that I've completed, and today I'm going to show you the series where I have all the books but I have not read them yet, so I can complete them pretty soon, basically, that it's going to happen. I'll just crack straight on, and I've only got one series that's manga, which I think was in my last manga haul. When I said I'd bought the entire set, and that's the Ceres series. There's 14 books in total. There's also a little spin-off story that I have in the back of one of my Shigi Yugi books as well, so I even have the spin-off. And this is a story about twins, Aya and Aki, who embody people from their past lives, and they're like getting taken over by their personalities. And Aya happens to be a celestial maiden who is called Ceres, and she basically takes over her body, and they have to go and find her robes in order to return her back to heaven so that she no longer torments Aya and takes over her body. So that's that one. And I've got 5 more books left to read, I think, but I have all 14 and they're manga books, so you can get through them so quickly. The next one is the Paranormal Sea series by Kirsten White. This is the story about a girl who works for an agency that finds paranormal creatures and basically deals with them so that people don't have to know that they exist. I've read Paranormal Sea, and I've also read Supernaturally, and I have Endlessly to read still. There's only 3 books in this trilogy. Well, it's a trilogy. The next one is A Witch in Winter by Ruth Warburton. I have all 3 books, which, again, is another trilogy. A Witch in Winter, A Witch Alone, and A Witch in Love. I can't remember the order. I've read this first one. I haven't read the other 2. And this is basically about a girl who moves into a new home and finds a strange book and decides to cast one of the spells from it, and it turns out she actually is descended from a witch, so she has the powers to actually make the spell work. Next one is The Sky Chasers by Amy Kathleen Ryan. This is Glow, there is Spark, and there is Flame. I've read Glow and Spark. I'm yet to read Flame, and I cannot wait. This series, I can't recommend it enough. It's absolutely amazing, and it keeps you thinking, and it keeps you on edge, and it's just so fast paced. This is about where Earth is no longer inhabitable, and people have ended up on 2 ships. One is religious and the other one is obviously the non-believers, and the religious ship isn't making any children. They're not having babies at all. They don't seem to be able to do it, but the non-religious ship has done it, and our main characters, Waverly, Kieran and Seth, are all the children of the people on the ship, and of course there's obviously younger ones and everything. And basically the ship with the religious people on decide to wait for the other ship, and of course chaos just comes along. Just read it. I don't want to spoil anything, but this is one of the best series I've ever read, and I've not even finished it. Speaking of which, another series that I've become obsessed with, another trilogy, they all seem to be trilogies, is Under the Never Sky by Veronica Rossi. Yeah, Rossi. And this has got Under the Never Sky. The second book is Through the Other Night, and the third one is Into the Still Blue. I'm yet to read Into the Still Blue, but I've read the first 2, and just again, I can't recommend this enough. I love Perry, love him. This is where, again, another dystopian, society has divided into 2 sets of people because the sky has formed a chemical called ether, and it comes down in storms and destroys everything it touches. And there's the dwellers, which is actually a derogatory term for them, who live in pods, and these pods are somehow ether-proof, and they've lived for many years in a civilized society, and everything for them is controlled by these little eyes, like smart eye things that they've got, that they see everything through that. They don't really actually live, if you ask me. And then the other people, I can't remember what they call them now. Outsiders. They basically live in tribes, and they have to farm the what's left of the world and hunt, and they obviously get affected by the ether quite badly. And these two worlds collide, and it turns out that these pods maybe need the help of the outsiders, and of course the two worlds entwine. Just read it. Just read it. The next one is the Mercy series by Rebecca Lim. I have read the first two, Mercy and Exile. There's two more, Muse and Fury. Should have probably researched these books before I did this. And this is about a angel called Mercy who doesn't actually have a body. She just inhabits people's bodies who are in need and will need saving, and she's got to figure out why they need saving and how she's going to do it. And then once she's completed her mission, she transfers to another body. So in Mercy, she is in the body of a schoolgirl who's in a choir, and in Exile, she's in the body of a girl who is just working all the time to try and like help her mother battle through cancer. And there is another angel involved who I can't remember the name of, but she trusts him, but she doesn't trust him, and he's basically trying to help her figure out the truth behind her story, but she doesn't know whether to actually listen to him. And there's also a human boy who ends up getting mixed up in her world, and she is trying to find him when she moves into the next body as well. Probably not the best explanation, but oh well. Next one is the Hush Hush series by Becca Fitzpatrick. I probably don't even have to tell you, there's 4 books in this series: Hush Hush, Crescendo, Silence, and Finale. And I've only got Finale left to read. This is about a fallen angel who ends up falling in love with a human girl. Woo! Every bloody story is, and but it's not as irritating as Fallen. This I think is, if I'd enjoyed Fallen, it'd be more like this. This is the good version of Fallen. Even though I'm not that huge on this series, I've enjoyed reading each book, and there's been some good little twists and turns into the development of the characters, but I don't think I'm that big on angel stories. I think this is what it is. Yeah. Next one, I don't know really if we're going to call it a series. They're just companion novels, but I'm saying it's a series because that's how I've read them in order. Well, I've got the last one yet to read, but it's Perfect Chemistry by Simone Alcalez. As we all know, I've read the first one and absolutely loved it. I read the second one, Rules of Attraction, and I loved it, but I don't think any contemporary is ever going to be as good as this book. I can't see it coming. The first one's called Chain Reaction, and they basically follow 3 brothers and each of their like first love stories. This one is Alex and Bethany, which is the best one. Alex is in a gang. Bethany's like the little good popular girl at school, and it's basically about how they end up really falling for each other. I don't want to spoil anything, but best contemporary I've ever read. Next one is Halo by Alexandra Ardonetto. I've read Halo. I've not read Hades or Heaven, but I own them both. And this is the story about angel. Actually, this is an angel story I didn't mind. I was quite interested by this one. An angel who ends up gaining a human body. It's not like Mercy where she like jumps around actual people. She gets like her own individual human body, and her brother and sister end up getting sent to a town to rescue them from some sort of evil, but they don't know what that evil is. Again, they've got to figure it out. I think I prefer these kind of angel stories to the like generic, oh no, fallen angel. The actual angel stories, not fallen ones where they actually are angels. Yes, and of course, as you can probably tell, she gets involved with a human boy. Next one is Star-Crossed by Josephine Angelini. I've read this one and I've read Dreamless. And if you saw one of my haul videos, I got Goddess and it wasn't in the same style as this, as you can probably tell if you've seen. It's not shiny and horrible like that one. But I've only got Goddess left to read. I've read the first two, and this is the story about modern day, like, reincarnations of Greek gods or Greek myth people. Like, our main character Helen is supposed to be Helen of Troy, and it basically is about these teenagers and their families trying to not create World War III by letting their story actually pan out. They're trying to fight against their story, and they're trying to just train up and stop. There's like an evil clan of these people who are like Greek descendants who want World War III to start, and they're just trying to stop them. Not the best explanation. I don't seem to be good at that part. Next one is the other of the series that I've not finished that I'm absolutely obsessed with and cannot wait to finish. And you think, well, why have you not finished them then, Vicky? I just haven't got around to them. This is supposed to be Ashes, but it's Shadows by Elsa J. Bick. And I also have Monsters. I've actually lent Ashes out because I have raved about it that much that I've lent someone it so that they can actually understand. Also, I wish this wasn't here. It's not a sticker. This is part of the cover. As good as the Hunger Games. Piss off. Better than the Hunger Games. And this is where there is a huge electromagnetic blast into the earth, and it changes the world entirely. Nothing electrical works anymore, for one. Secondly, a lot of people just drop dead. That was it. That was the end of them. Thirdly, anyone who is like in between the ages of about, rough guesstimation here, 6 and 20 can become, don't necessarily become, changed, and they end up having a taste for human flesh, and they end up being like not zombies, but like weird zombie kind of people, but they learn as they go as well, and they become more intelligent, and they're quick, and they now choose weapons. They're freaky. And then there's some people just survived unchanged and unaffected, but there's like the elite set of people who survived but changed, but not in that way. And our main character Alex is one of those people. She ends up with a heightened sense of smell. I won't spoil it anymore, but this just yes. And the last one is the Nightshade series by Andrea Creamer. I've read Nightshade and I've read Wolfsbane. Loved Nightshade, fantastic book. I was gripped. I sped through it. Wolfsbane, I'm hoping that it's one of them like second book syndrome where they're just failing in till they get to all the good stuff at the end. And this is about a group of young werewolves and how the two alphas from different packs are supposed to marry and become a new pack, so that they're their own young pack of wolves. But one of the wolves ends up meeting someone else and deciding that she doesn't want to marry this guy, and also she ends up finding the truth around why they're being forced to marry, and what's really going on, why they need this new pack of wolves. So that's everything. That's all the books where I have all of them in the series, but I haven't read them all. But with most of them, I've only got 1 or 2 left to read. I think the only really bad one is, let's say bad, it's the Ceres one, but I've read 8 books. I'm currently reading the 9th one, and then I've got 5 more to read, so it's not really that bad when you think about it. So I hope you enjoyed, and bye!